We're live from the Fantasy Sports Trade Association Summer Conference here in the Crown Plaza.
Yeah, it sounds good. It's the Marriott Crown Plaza. Parking's $40 for the entire day. Not a bad price in New York.
If you look to your left, you can see the M&M store.
Yeah.
We're going to hit that up later.
I've been there before.
We should buy pounds of green M&Ms and just slap them all over the table for the Fantasy Sports Network's coverage.
There's no carbs in that, right?
I don't think. Why?
I'm just trying to lighten up on the carbs.
You said why like he was unhealthy. Like,
I mean,
look at me. Why?
I'm sorry, I didn't know. So, I like you. All right. You're Italian, man. We're not giving up carbs. Drew Dinkmeyer's here. We're going to talk a little fantasy football from last night. Interesting draft.
Are you sure?
I think so, yeah. Okay. You didn't think so?
Yeah, I thought it was
jumping on this McFadden thing. Brandon Cooks and T.Y. Hilton went in the third round fairly early, ahead of Lamar Miller, ahead of DeAndre Hopkins.
You know what's crazy?
Ahead of Golden Tate.
Yeah. T.Y. Hilton, to me, is one of the most interesting guys being drafted at this point, because I think a lot of people anticipate the contract situation with Indianapolis dissipating. They made a first-round draft pick of another young player, wide receiver. So I think because of the offseason, Hilton's being neglected. He's still the top wide receiver unless you think Andre Johnson will be that guy in a offense that could be the best there. But yet, all these drafts, I've seen him go late in the third round. It's amazing to me that he's fallen down a little bit.
I was a little upset. Not upset. I guess I'm happy because he's my guy. But Golden Tate is a guy I wanted to target every single league. And Golden Tate went in the third round in both leagues. So I've kind of lost my Golden Tate. I'm not taking him in the second round, Tony.
No, it's one of those things you want to get the guy there. I got the fantasy executive connected. T.Y. Hilton now, I think you're a guy that not high on Hilton. What don't you like about Hilton in the third round?
Just overall not a fan of Hilton. It's one of those things. I think he's a better fantasy player than he is an NFL player. But now I think you bring Andre Johnson in the situation. You look at the weapons with Fleener and Allen. Now you got the running game. There's too many targets for T.Y. Hilton to be a third-round pick in fantasy.
Drew's a guy that he develops all the statistical data. Can there be only one ball to use in football? Can there be too many weapons?
Yeah, I think that's the challenge for Hilton and the Colts offense. They're obviously the great thing about the Colts offense is their defense is terrible, and they play in a division where they get friendly matchups all the time. So you get a lot of point padding for Andrew Luck. The question is, will he spread it around even more so this year? I think Hilton and Cooks are interesting because Cooks is getting that push forward from being basically the only option in New Orleans, and Hilton's kind of getting pushed down from being, among many options. So it's interesting to juxtapose the two, both small wide receivers, both guys who do a lot of work deep. At least that's what New Orleans tried to do with Cooks last year. I think he's better in the short intermediate stuff. But it'll be interesting to see. Of those two, I think I'd rather take the chance on Hilton because even with lesser targets, he's a big play guy. So I think I'd let the choice be decided by PPR versus non-PPR with those two, actually.
So you're more Derek Van Riper than Ray Flowers?
I guess so. Yeah. Although DeAndre Hopkins, I would take well over those guys. DeAndre Hopkins to me is like a second-round pick.
Hey, so you're more Jeff Collins?
Yeah, I love DeAndre Hopkins.
Where did Drew's boy Marquise go?
I'm going to guess he didn't go anywhere. Drew, are you going to...
That's rude. It's just rude. He should have been like a, I don't know. Maybe a third round pick.
My control
that might be a little low
right now.
Would you have might be low? Would you have taken him as a sentimental pick?
Yeah, Marquise Wilson will be a staple of my draft season.
Marcus Colston.
I owe it to him.
Really, so everyone who plays Drew right now knows you're getting one free pick against this guy.
It's not a free pick. It's not a free pick. He's got the chance to develop.
You think?
John Fox was talking him up the other day.
He's gonna be number 3, right?
Well, I don't know. John Fox has never played rookies, so is Kevin White gonna start? Or Eddie Royal's in there too, so it's kind of a mixed bag. But
Kevin White's gonna start.
I'm sorry, you're right. I didn't mean to say it was a wasted pick. I feel bad now.
Yeah, stop that.
You think he's above White on the depth chart?
I think it's possible.
Wow,
dude, everyone was. I know, Drew, you're forever gonna be linked to Marcus Wilson, but I think everyone was kind of on him the last couple weeks. He wasn't a secret.
Well, that's the thing. When he was drafted out of Washington State, I thought the Bears got a really good pick out of him because they took him in the 6th round, and he was like a second-round talent. But he fell because he got kicked off the team his senior year. But some of the research that's been done on like really good wide receivers, they produce in college at young ages, and he was very productive in his freshman and sophomore years at Washington State in a big way. So I think the skills and the talent are there. Big guy, he can run down the field, he can make contested catches. He needs an opportunity. Last year he had that, and then he got hurt in the preseason. He broke his clavicle, and he was on the designated IR list the whole year, and so it was a real lost opportunity last year for him.
Do you think his presence and his ability to put up a couple big games at the end of the year, kind of like, all right, we don't need Marshall, we're cool. We got Wilson, we're going to get Kevin White, everything's going to be awesome.
I hope that, but then they drafted White, so I don't know. I don't know how high this coaching staff is on Wilson because they drafted White. I thought that was an opportunity where they could have added to the defensive side of the ball where they don't have a lot, and they took White instead. So I'm not really sure on their feelings on Wilson. I like him. I think he's a good developmental prospect, but I'm not sure where the staff sits.
And he's going to be on all your teams.
He will be.
Are you going to be in some big draft and someone's going to take Marcus Wilson? Like, hey, Drew, I got your guy. And you're going to want to punch him in the face?
It's going to happen now.
Would you trade for him?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound very enthusiastic.
He sounded like he was talking about a kicker or a defense.
I probably wouldn't have to trade for him because you guys are talking about him either not being drafted, and then if he is drafted, probably someone's just going to cut him. So I'd scoop him up.
I agree. I agree with you. I don't know what'll happen with that offense, but to write him off is kind of crazy with a rookie in the mix and Eddie Royal. I mean, I look at the calendar; it's actually 2015, not 2010. So he has a shot for sure. And last year, despite Drew winning $1 million, Marcus Wilson, a lot of fantasy experts liked this guy as a sleeper last year, and he was talked about throughout the season.
Drew, did people expect you to pay for drinks last night, like at the bar? Like, Drew, you're going to get us a drink?
Well, the great thing about last night is, the drinks were taken care of, so I didn't have to face that issue. But yeah, that happens from time to time.
And I bought him lunch yesterday. It's a free ride for him all the way around here.
Yeah. It's got to be so annoying.
Yeah.
Right?
You guys are
I'll take it. Right? Because that means something really good happened.
You should just tell people, like, dude, really, if you add up Leone's winnings, it's like $2 million, so you should be...
You guys are all underestimating the rookie wide receivers. Look what the rookie wide receivers did last year. Just because he's a Wookiee,
that was 1 year, and I think an exceptional class that comes around every once in a while. If you go back prior to last year, every show on this
channel... look at where this guy was drafted. He's expected to be like those.
Every show on the channel will say year 3 is when the wide receiver comes into his fullest potential. And those guys just blew it out of the water last year, and I just think that class is a class to itself. It'll be 10, 20 years before we see that again.
You don't think they've kind of unlocked something this year, and like the offense?
Well, the passing game's easier in the NFL than it has ever been. The rules have changed for that, so you do have that in the aspect. But learning the route tree, learning the offensive playbook, it's still hard for rookies. I mean, they go to college, but they don't really read books.
I went to BC, and there were a lot of smart football players there when I was there. They're in the classes that I was in.
Elitist here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm an elitist. I'm Boston College elitist. I'll show you elitist. Do you see how that honey's pulled up right there?
Yeah.
When we go to break, I'm going to lick it right out of that container. That's elitist, Tony Cicada.
That's good oral skills. So I can't wait to watch that.
We're going to continue. I want to get into some more. I had to beg Vaccaro to let us get Julius Thomas last night. I am high on the... If I was left to my own devices, my entire team might have been Jacksonville Jaguars.
You are high.
Except for the running backs.
That's probably not good.
I'm high on honey and tea right now, Drew.
You took the quarterback too?
No, we didn't. Vaccaro, he's like, no. I'm like, all right, you're a Hall of Famer. I will defer, but give me 2 months when I start doing my own drafts like a big boy. And, there's going to be a lot of Jacksonville Jaguar. 3 great wide receivers, very good tight ends, developing quarterback.
And you can get a ticket to watch them play pretty easy.
I could win one, and one of the I can go sit in the pool.
Yeah, that's right.
So just to recap, Marquise Wilson, wasted pick. Jacksonville Jaguar, 3 great wide receivers.
Yeah, I didn't say wasted pick. Let's take a break.
Let's roll the tape.
We're going to come back. More of the Fantasy Funhouse live from the Fantasy Sports Trade Association Summer Conference here in New York City. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more. I think I was joking.